On a morning in 2018, Gurcharan Singh, a local resident, was getting ready for his regular morning walk. After leaving his home, he made his way to the neighborhood grocery store, which was usually open at this time. However, today felt different. Although the delivery of milk and bread had already taken place, the store's shutter was still closed, and the delivery items were left sitting outside. The grocery store belonged to the Chundawat family, who had been part of the neighborhood for many years. Gurcharan Singh had been their neighbor for 22 years and remembered that a member of the Chundawat family would always unlock the store promptly at 6 a.m. every morning. Feeling worried about the unexpected delay, Gurcharan Ji decided to check on the family. As soon as he entered the house, he was met with a shocking sight that sent chills down his spine. Within moments, a large crowd began to gather outside the Chundawat house, and soon, police officers arrived, making their way through the crowd to reach the home. When the door swung open, the scene inside left both the police and onlookers in utter disbelief. The lifeless bodies of 11 members of the Chundawat family were discovered hanging together in a single room. Their faces were covered with cloth, their hands bound with wires, and they were blindfolded. Along with these 10 hanging bodies, the oldest woman in the family was found lying in another room, adding to the horror of the situation. To truly grasp the depth of this tragedy, we first need to know a bit about the Chundawat family. Originally from Rajasthan, the Chundawat family had made Delhi their home since 1999. In the city, they ran a successful plywood business and also operated the neighborhood grocery store. Known for their warm and friendly nature, the family always seemed to be doing well financially, never showing any signs of struggle. The eldest member, 75-year-old Narayani Devi, was the matriarch of the family. Narayani Devi's 2 sons, Bhavnesh and Lalit, were married to 2 wonderful women named Savita and Tina, respectively. The family faced a tough time in 2007 when Narayani's husband passed away after a long illness, leaving a deep sadness in their hearts. Alongside her sons and their wives, Narayani also had a daughter named Pratibha, who lived with them along with her own daughter, Priyanka. Narayani Devi was a proud grandmother too. Bhavnesh had 3 children, his eldest daughter Neetu, his younger daughter Manaka, and a son named Dhruv. Lalit had 1 son, Shivam. For the last 22 years, 3 generations of the Chundawat family had shared their lives under one roof, creating countless memories together. But in a shocking turn of events, one day, the entire family was found dead in their own home, leaving the community in disbelief. When everyone saw the scene, they were completely terrified. At first glance, it seemed like a burglar or thief might have done it. But strangely, not a single item in the house was missing. Everything was in its place, untouched. However, there was one strange thing that caught everyone's attention. The family's dog was still alive and unbothered. Usually, if a stranger had entered and harmed the family, the dog would have barked or made some noise. But that night, there wasn't a sound, which only deepened the mystery. It felt as though something more disturbing was hidden beneath the surface. The police continued their investigation and soon discovered something that changed the direction of the case. Inside the house, they found a diary. As they flipped through the pages, they read lines that were eerie and unsettling. The diary spoke about how the human body was just a temporary shell, but the soul was eternal, lasting beyond life. It described a strange belief. If 11 people performed a specific ritual together, all their life struggles and sufferings would disappear, and they would achieve peace and salvation. This diary entry added a dark twist to the investigation. In addition to the eerie passages, the diary contained several other notes that shocked the investigators. These notes seemed to encourage people to take their own lives, urging them to perform certain rituals with the promise of peace and release from life's struggles. The police found this deeply disturbing. Along with the diary, they also discovered a collection of books about occult practices in the Padia family's home. Many of these books described strange, complex rituals and beside them were several religious texts, suggesting that the family may have been practicing the teachings within. When the police questioned the family's relatives, they found no signs of trouble. The extended family members confirmed that the Bhatias had no known enemies and weren't dealing with any financial problems, debts, or family conflicts. Everything seemed fine on the surface. Yet despite these reassurances, neighbors were convinced that something more sinister had happened, that it was a case of murder, and the culprit was still out there. Given the conflicting theories, the police decided to send the bodies for a detailed post-mortem to find any clues that could confirm or deny foul play. When the initial post-mortem report arrived, it seemed to lean toward a tragic conclusion. The report pointed clearly to suicide. There were no signs of struggle, no marks of force, and no fingerprints from anyone outside the family. Among the tragic victims, the last to leave this world was Narayan Devi, the eldest in the family. Unlike the others, who were found hanging, Narayan Devi's body was discovered lying motionless on the floor. It was as if she were the one left behind, a silent witness to the horrifying events that took place in her home. By hearing just these few details, you might already have a hint about the strange and tragic path this family took. The police suggested that all 11 members of the Bhatia family may have taken their lives due to some ritualistic practice they were trying to follow. But there's more to this mystery. Today, I'm going to take you into a darker side of this case, an angle so eerie that it will send chills down your spine. But if you have watched till here, please give a like to this video. Thank you. To truly understand what led to this terrifying end, let's rewind to the year 2007. That year marked a significant change for the Bhatia family, beginning with the death of Narayan Devi's husband, Gopal Das. Just days after his passing, something began to shift within the family. Gopal's son, Lalit Bhatia, started behaving in ways that raised concern. He claimed he could feel his father's spirit within him, guiding him. Soon, Lalit began giving out instructions to his family, speaking in ways he said were inspired by his late father. After Gopal Das passed away, the family faced tough times financially. They struggled to make ends meet. But then Lalit, Gopal Das's son, took charge. He assured the family that his father's spirit was guiding him, helping him make decisions to overcome their financial troubles. It wasn't just words. Lalit's behavior began to mirror that of his father, who had served in the Indian Army. People around him noticed that he adopted a strict, disciplined lifestyle, just like his father once had. Then, 6 years after Gopal Das's death, another twist shook the family. Lalit, who ran a plywood store, met with a terrible accident. A large plywood sheet fell on his head, leaving him severely injured. From that day on, he lost his ability to speak. The family tried everything to treat him, consulting doctors and specialists, but no one could help. The doctors finally said that Lalit might never speak again, and feeling hopeless, the family eventually gave up on his treatment. But just when they thought there was no way forward, an unexpected miracle took place. A few months after they'd stopped his treatment, Lalit suddenly spoke again. He gathered his family and told them that the previous night, his father had come to him in a dream. In this dream, Gopal Das had given him his voice back. This story sounds almost impossible to believe. Yet as time passed, Lalit continued doing more unusual things around the house, and gradually, the family began to trust him completely. Every morning, Lalit would gather the family members and have them stand straight, saying it would help them grow stronger mentally. Then came another strange ritual. Lalit's sister Priyanka wasn't able to find a husband, and this worried the family. To solve it, Lalit told them to worship a banana tree. Miraculously, not long after this ritual, Priyanka got engaged to a man from Noida. Lalit's influence didn't stop there. He went on to have 11 pipes installed on the walls of their home, telling the contractor it was for better ventilation. Coincidentally, the iron gate of their house also had 11 rods, matching the exact number of family members, 11 in total. With Lalit's guidance, the family overcame many struggles. so they started trusting him completely. He then introduced a new idea that he said would change their lives. With support from his wife Tina, Lalit convinced the family that if they performed a secret ritual, they would be able to meet Gopal Das, who would then guide them to find eternal peace. The ritual Lalit planned was unsettling. It involved tying ropes and sari scarves to the pipes installed around the house. Narayan Devi, being the eldest and too weak to stand, was allowed to lie on the ground, which is why her body was found there, not hanging like the others. Lalit instructed everyone to focus their minds on a single thought during the ritual, which was to take place between midnight and 1 a.m. Before this, he insisted they perform a special fire ritual, which he said should ideally be done on a Thursday or Sunday. To ease their worries, Lalit reassured the family that they would be safe because his father, Gopal Das, would come to protect them. He explained that they might feel strange sensations, like the ground or sky shaking, or even experience headaches, but there was no need for concern because Gopal Das would be there to help them. These details were recorded in diaries that the police found in the house. Around midnight, the family members brought stools into the house to help them participate in the ritual. This eerie moment, when they carried the stools inside, was captured on CCTV footage from a camera set up outside the house. The footage revealed a family united in their beliefs, stepping toward a tragic conclusion, all under Lalit's misguided conviction that they would be safe. The family truly believed they wouldn't face any danger that night because they had made plans for the next day. They had chickpeas soaking in the fridge, ordered chapatis for delivery. Priyanka had sent her clothes to the laundry, and the children had even arranged a cricket match for the following day. It was clear that Lalit had convinced them this was merely a ritual, and after completing it, they would find peace and salvation. As the night of the ritual arrived, Lalit and his wife Tina carefully tied everyone's feet. They followed each step that Lalit had instructed, believing wholeheartedly in his words. In that tragic moment, the entire family took part in the ritual. Lalit and Tina joined in, and in just one night, all 11 members of this family lost their lives. What makes this story even more shocking is that this family was educated. Among them was an engineer, and Bhavnesh's eldest daughter was studying for a master's degree in forensics. Convincing such a well-informed group to participate in something so extreme wasn't easy. Additionally, there were two 15-year-old children in the family, making it even harder for anyone to believe they would take such a drastic step. This tragic incident left many wondering how a family could fall into such a devastating belief. So, how did all this happen? And why did Lalit lead his own family to such a tragic end? I see two possible explanations, one scientific and the other supernatural. First, let's explore the scientific explanation. It suggests that Lalit was struggling with a serious psychological issue, but the Bhatia family didn't recognize his mental state. This condition is known as shared psychotic disorder, where one person's mental illness affects others around them, leading them to believe in that person's delusions rather than seeking help. When Lalit's voice returned after his accident, he engaged in behaviors that made his family trust him completely. Their strong religious beliefs made them more open to his ideas, ultimately leading them to follow him in the tragic act. Some even speculate that a tantric who was connected to the family might have influenced them, although this remains unverified. Now let's move on to the supernatural explanation. I believe that Lalit never truly saw his father's spirit. Instead, he might have been engaging in some form of dark ritual. Rituals often involve a deep commitment to specific practices. Lalit deceived his family, insisting on the importance of certain beliefs, writing chants on walls, and conducting various ceremonies. When it came time for a final act of devotion, he encouraged the family to participate, leading them to believe they were seeking something greater. Both explanations highlight how Lalit's influence steered a loving family toward a tragic conclusion. It serves as a sobering reminder of how deeply beliefs and mental states can impact our choices and actions, sometimes leading us down unexpected paths. During their investigation, the police discovered some unsettling details about the bodies found in the house. They noticed that the hands and legs of most family members were tightly tied, except for Lalit and Tina, whose hands were free. This strange detail raised many questions, especially since Lalit was the last person to be found. It led people to wonder if he had more knowledge about what happened, adding a layer of mystery to this tragic story. This case has left a chilling impression on the minds of many, creating a sense of fear in the community. However, today, the house is rented out to new tenants, and life seems to be returning to normal. So, friends, that's it for today's video. I want to hear your thoughts. Why do you think this family chose to end their lives in such a tragic way? Share your answers in the comments below. And if you're new here, please subscribe to our channel as we aim for 50,000 subscribers. Thank you.